Tesla and Agent 15. On August 6, 1895, Nikola Tesla receives a telegraph from Washington, D.C., stating that he will be receiving funds in exchange for him developing a bioweapon for the military within a year, with the goal being to mimic the effects of yellow fever. Tesla manages to complete his prototype ahead of schedule, with the military sending him another telegraph on January 2, 1896, thanking him for his swiftness. They then order 100 barrels of his latest prototype, Agent 15. Things eventually go south as Tesla and his workers are exposed to the bioweapon, with the workers being turned into zombies and Tesla having his brain removed and put in a jar in order to survive. Before his brain removal, Tesla leaves instructions to have his brain be taken to top scientists. Constitution Fort, a small wooden fort found around the 20 to 30 kilometer mark. On February 6, 1898, Captain Prescott receives a telegraph from Washington stating that he and his men will be expecting shipments of Agent 15, with orders to hold on to the barrels for 2 days before a carrier picks them up and delivers them to the USS Maine. 10 days later, Prescott receives another telegraph with an urgent order directing him to burn all prior telegraphs that mention Agent 15 and/or the USS Maine. A day later, Prescott is ordered to reply to the chain of command or be labeled a traitor and deserter, implying that he had stopped responding. A bounty is eventually placed on Prescott's head. Prescott and his men are eventually turned into zombies, likely from exposure to Agent 15. They now reside the outbreak. On June 21, 1899, a virus began spreading through the United States. It supposedly began as just a mutated form of influenza, but quickly turned into a much bigger issue. The first stage of symptoms is a fever, and the effects included violent tendencies and unexplained mental effects. This virus seems to be only effective against humans. On June 22, 1899, dozens of towns throughout San Antonio report mass looting. This looting is reportedly due to mass panic from the virus. Meanwhile, officials are stating that if you or someone you know begins to experience symptoms of the virus, you should limit exposure as much as possible. June 25, 1899, is the fourth day since the start of the newly dubbed zombie plague, which has been sweeping through the nation at a rapid pace. Due to the mysterious effects of the virus, President McKinley orders martial law in an attempt to regain control. The newspaper ends with a call to arms for anyone who is willing to aid in pushing back the zombie menace to join the fight. The quest for the cure. On July 5, 1899, government officials announced that Mexican scientists have successfully developed a cure for the zombie plague, with the authorities urging all survivors to travel to the capital in order to receive it. This is where the player comes in, starting in a small town in America and setting off on a train to Mexico in order to find the cure. That is all for Dead Rails lore. More updates when the Dead Rails wiki updates. See ya.
Plug.